So this is your boy Showdown, and happy holidays to everybody. And I've been pretty busy shopping this holiday season, this shopping season. And of all the things that I got a Connect, and that thing is garbage. That thing's freaking horrible. It's awful. The voice commands work pretty good, but I got it for 20 bucks, so I figured why not. I got a few little knickknacks here and there. I got Star Trek Into Darkness for like 8 bucks on Amazon.com, so I was pretty excited about that, being a huge Star Trek fan and all. And got a new case for my phone, and you know, just little stuff like that. But the biggest thing I got was this, and you know, it's an FX 8350. Right now I'm running a AMD 1090T, and you know, normally I'm really excited when I get a new processor. I've always used AMD. I've always used them, and yeah, I'm usually really excited. But this one I'm really mixed about. I mean, like, you know, I went from single core AMD processors to dual core AMD processors. Let me put this up. Yeah, right here. There we go. Right in front of the stupid Connect. And you know, then I went from the dual core. I skipped the quad core generation and went straight to the 6 core. And the performance boost from my AMD 6400 Plus was like, really? Are you serious? Wow, this is unbelievable. I got that 1090T for 159 bucks 2.5 years ago or so. And I've been rocking it hard ever since. But as everybody knows, the Bulldozer line has been pretty much, the FX Bulldozer line has been pretty much a disappointment. I mean, it's been, I'm not going to say crappy, but it's not been good. The 8150 was crappy. I mean, it was bad because it wasn't better than the 1090T. I mean, it just wasn't better than it at all. They somewhat redeemed themselves with the 8350. But usually when I do an upgrade, I'm not an upgrade monster. Some of these guys, they do upgrades for 10% gains, and I've never done an upgrade for a 10% gain a day in my life. So usually I try to do no less than 50%. I mean, when I spend, I always buy the top of the line processor. So when I spend $200, $350 on a processor, I don't want to be guessing whether or not it's better than the old one I just got rid of. Okay, so you know, looking at the 8350 and looking at the 1090T, okay, it's better. It's better. Single core, not so much. But yeah, when you overclock it, it's got 8 cores. It encodes media a lot better. I mean, primarily what I do, I'm an editor. I do play games. I have quite a few games. To show you my start screen here. But yeah, primarily what I do, I'm an editor. So yeah, I mean, the 8350 is kind of a mixed bag for me. So you're like, you know, why did you get it? Well, I mean, why not just wait a little bit longer? Well, I have been planning and plotting for 2 years now, waiting for Steamroller to come out, because I knew all the improvements Steamroller would have for the PileDriver core, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. You know, I heard all the Kaveri reviews and how good they are, and you know, it's 30% better than PileDriver, and I've just been waiting for Steamroller to come out on AM3 Plus. That has been my game plan for CPU upgrades for 2.5 years now. And so what happens? AMD releases this roadmap that basically says we're not going to build anymore. We're not going to build high-end performance processors in 2014. This is after 2 years of telling us that in 2013 we're going to be releasing the Steamroller core in the 4th quarter. So I'm looking at this roadmap, and I'm looking at processors like the 9590, which, I mean, they're 300 bucks now. When they first came out, they were $1,000. And you know, I mean, for 300 bucks, I suppose it's worth it. But unfortunately, they did not make it compatible with the older boards. So you have to buy basically what is a revised AM3 Plus board. So it's like AM3 Plus board, which is to me just a complete ripoff. So what am I supposed to do about that? So my only option at this point is to buy the 8350. And because I'm not waiting, I'm not going another year with the 1090T. Not that it's a bad processor, but I actually have other plans for that 1090T. I was going to take that processor out when Steamroller came out and give it to my mom. And yeah, I was going to give that 6-core 1090T processor and put it in my mom's computer. So that's always been my plan. And I was going to have a couple other computers that I were going to move down the line and give to people. And I don't want to hold off on that, you know, because my whole family basically capitalizes off of me upgrading my computer. It kind of has a trickle-down economics effect, you know, to put it in Republican terms. But yeah, so this is where I am now. I've done some preliminary benchmarks. I've got this project that I've been working on, and it encoded 1080p AVC HD project in 5 minutes and 58 seconds. So I'm going to upgrade this guy. I'm going to put this in my computer. I'm going to run those scores again. But another thing that I bought this holiday season is a Quadro. I bought a new Quadro. Got it off eBay. And there's some plugins that I still use CS4. I use Premiere Pro CS4. The rest of my suite is CS5. But I've kind of discovered some plugins that actually use the Quadro to accelerate my CS4 performance. So I'm going to do some benchmarks with this guy, and I'm going to do some benchmarks with the Quadro 4800 FX. And we're going to see if all the money I've spent this holiday season is worth it. So stay tuned. I'm actually going to upgrade this on camera. So here it is. I'm shutting down my 1090T, my beloved 1090T computer for the last time. And here we go. So I got my computer out of the little cove I have it in over here. And you may notice that it's right over the AC vent. And what that does is you see this big fan at the bottom of the case. It allows a lot of all the cold air, because it never really gets hot here in Atlanta. So AC, the heat is really on. And usually at least I leave the fan on or something like that just to keep some cold air or fresh air for circulating throughout the house. So it pushes all that cold air up through the case through this little fan right here. And I've had my H100 set to exhaust, so it's like this nice little heat tower effect where all the hot air just rises through the case, comes out the top, just like it's supposed to happen in a perfect physical world. So here it is. Here's my H100. I'm taking it off just in case you've never seen that CPU upgrade before, which I'm sure you have. And I guess I'll do some more ranting on the AMD choice not to produce a performance chip for 2014. Now, see, I understand that AMD has to produce all the console APUs and that they're shifting their business focus and stuff like that. I understand that, you know. But, you know, you made promises to your customers, and your performance customers are going to be your most loyal customers, you know. I mean, it's not the people that you're building these APUs for that are your loyal customers. It's us, you know. It's the people that bought the 1090T. It's the people that bought the 8150. It's the people who are buying the 8350. It's us. So here's my beloved 1090T here, and putting it out of service. But yeah, it's us. So even I understand that you're cash strapped and you don't have much money and you're fighting this war, this two-front war against NVIDIA and Intel, both companies that have way more resources and money than you do. But if you don't want to alienate your primary people by not giving them not something that we just want. You know, it's not that we're just being greedy and we just want a new CPU at the detriment of your company. We need a new high performance CPU. I mean, like, honestly, the 1090T doesn't hold anything. It's not even competitive with even the mid-range products from the i5 products anymore. It's you know, you tell people you have a 1090T and they're like, what? You still have one of those things? Those things are like 4 years old. They came out in freaking 2010, you know? So, and just from a professional perspective, I mean, I need a little light here, so I got to turn my light on for my phone. You know, it really is holding me back. It's holding me back from, you know, doing what I need to do personally. And, but you know, the thing that really gets me about this whole situation is that nobody is talking about it. Nobody's talking about the fact that AMD, none of your big websites, you know, you got to go to the little guys out there. So here's the magic moment. I'm about to hit the power button on my computer, and hopefully I didn't get a dud, which would make me even more salty. So come alive, come on. So I overclocked it, so let's see what it does. Alright, so I'm in Windows now, and actually I'm still running Windows 8, not 8.1. But anyway, I did that because specifically for this video, because for what it's worth, I wanted to see how would change in my Windows Experience Index. Wow, so my hard drive speed went down a lot. My CPU score, my SSD apparently has dropped in performance considerably. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I didn't set something up right. Maybe I put it on IDE instead of ACHI or something like that. But my CPU score is up. So what that tells me is that this processor is indeed faster. So I'm in Premiere Pro now, and like I said earlier, before it took this 2.5 minute project 6 minutes to encode. So we are going to see what this new processor is made out of. I'm encoding it in 1080p, 29 frames per second, 256 kilobytes per second for the audio at about a rate of 20 megabits per second. And yeah, let's see what it can do. All right, and I am pressing start. So let's see if it's any faster. $15 seconds left. So my previous times were right at 6 minutes, and this looks like it's going to finish in about 4:15, which, shaving off a third of my encoding time. 4:10, so it shaved off a third of my encoding time. So, needless to say, I'm pretty happy with that. We've dropped back down to 34 degrees. So, seems like this overclock is reasonably stable. I'd like to probably do some more tests. But yeah, it seems like this overclock's pretty stable right now. So that's my improvement. I've improved this CPU is a third faster. It's not a bad score. It's not bad at all. It's not too much higher than what I was scoring with my overclock on my 1090T. But the 1090T was a little suspect. It wasn't completely stable, so I don't even know if those count. But yeah, 14,000. That's a significant bump. And my base scores, and like I said, I'm going to keep this overclock. It's going to be a 24/7 overclock. My base scores were about 10,000 on the 1090T, not overclocked, and I didn't have a 24/7 overclock on that 1090T. But yeah, this is better.